Hello everybody and welcome back to more of the Inquisitor series where I'm no longer sick and I no longer have food poisoning and we're starting chapter 2. So overall, good day. We also just launched our first episode of the Indie Spotlight yesterday, so check that out if you haven't. I just wanted to throw that in here so I didn't have to talk about it later in the episode because we still have a lot to talk about, right? I mean, in the last episode, we killed Zash, except Zash didn't die. She transferred half of her her full consciousness into khem'val, and now they're sharing a body, and it's freaking hilarious because the way her voice comes out of his face is just so funny. Plus, I have new followers, which is really awesome, and I technically have a new boss. It's just so good.
Darth Thanaton, I believe we spoke once before. I hope you've settled into your new role. Your brief career has been of great interest to me, and with Darth Zash dead, I think it's time we finally met. If you will be taking up Zash's work, we have much to discuss. Meet me at the tomb of Darth Andrew, outside Kar City.
As you say.
It will be a pleasure to finally meet you.
Something about that Thanaton guy rubs me wrong.
Your pirate friend has good instincts. Thanaton had me confined to Drummond Castle when we killed Scotia, and he'd have done worse if he'd had proof. He's not to be trifled with. Be careful.
Now, as I said in the previous episode, the end of Chapter 1 is just so good. Unfortunately, with Chapter 2, it gets kind of weird. So if you're not into like the weird Force stuff, then from here on, you're probably not going to like it as much as you did Chapter 1. It's just that simple. However, that doesn't mean that Chapter 2 is any worse. I mean, it's just different, you know? Chapter 2 is actually still quite good, at least in my opinion. And I've been surprised with the entire Inquisitor story, just in general, simply because so many people have said it was so bad, and yet I go into it and I enjoy it. I mean, this conversation right here is a good example of this.
Thank you for meeting me here. Respect for her superiors is the mark of a good Sith. Of course, Zash would have did disagree with me passionately on that point, but then Zash never respected tradition.
It's wise to respect your superiors, at least until you're powerful enough to kill them.
Wise answer. You are not like your master. Tradition, principles, history, the threads that compose our society. Zash refused to acknowledge how one little tug could ruin the whole tapestry. Your work was sloppy, brazen even, but the news of her murder was sweet.
I would hate for my actions to disappoint you.
I only hope the next time you'll be a little less obvious. Nevertheless, we're here to talk about you, not Zash. You have demonstrated remarkable ability. Though I am a stricter master than Zash, I think you'll find that to loyal followers of our traditions, I am not ungenerous.
I know the Sith Code. Is there something else I'm supposed to know?
The Sith Code is only the start. You must study the history of the Sith. Make it your own. Now, I wish to see how you work. This tomb belonged to Darth Andrew, Sith scholar and alchemist. I'm interested in his last writings, which were buried with him. Recover them for me, and we will discuss your place in my power structure.
Now, this is going to be interesting. First of all, I like the fact that he doesn't care at all that Zash is dead. In fact, he's quite happy. So I guess in a manner he does care. But the other thing is that my character now has a new boss. Now, with the new Sith boss, you gotta... Okay, let's take it back. We're rewinding to the beginning of Chapter 1, where my character first meets Zash. She kind of has to gauge her and figure out her reactions to certain things, and then, only then, was my character able to start kind of listening to what she was saying and being like, okay, Zash is totally lying to me here. And then my character can kind of do the whole response thing, like, oh yeah, Zash, you're the greatest master ever. You're totally not planning to kill me. And Zash was, you know, gullible, so she totally believed my character. Now, Thanaton is a bit different. You gotta be a little bit more careful with him. He's a bit more maniacal, and with that, you really gotta gauge him on a completely different matter. I mean, you can't just like look at him and go, is he lying or is he not lying? It's more like, is he really telling a whole truth, or is what he's saying, you know, partly a lie and partly not a lie? You know, he's a bit more slimy in that fact. But like all other Sith Masters that you have as a Sith, you're probably planning on killing him eventually. I mean, I'm not saying that that's something I'll do, but I'm saying that eventually my character probably would have the thoughts of killing him. You always want to succeed your master in the Sith world, and with that, you have to typically kill them, or else they'll kill you, because it's kind of a little bit of a survival of the fittest as far as masters and apprentices go, within the Sith realm, that is.
Venom-toothed vipers always slithering, up the walls, along the floors. Trespasser. You'll not have it. It's mine. It's the last place in the galaxy that's mine.
I just want the writings.
Never satisfied are you, my apprentice? The poison's still fresh in my body. You defile my tomb. You and your brother both. The venom may have burned away my sight, but I know you. Don't make my mistake. Strangle your children at birth.
I'm not here to chat.
You will die before I hand over my writings.
Enough. Foolish child. Twice now you walked into the still inhabited tomb of a Sith Lord unprepared. Look around you. See the bones, the tattered robes. This is where Thanaton leads those he despises to death. You follow him blindly when you should plan to defeat him.
Did you have a scheme in mind?
Listen, flesh of my flesh. I have felt something in you since the day we met. You have a rare pull among ghosts. It's a source of great power, but it has destroyed many a Sith. It's your only chance against Thanaton.
What do you mean I have a pull on the dead?
They sense you from far away as I did. And you rouse strong emotions in them, as with this ghost. In my time, there were mystical movements among the Sith that sought to communicate with ghosts and harness their power. A Sith named Urgast was said to devour ghosts the way your Dashad devours Force users. His knowledge was buried with him near the Dark Temple. Seek this knowledge.
I hope this knowledge does what you say.
Good luck, flesh of my flesh. Don't make me remind you again that you are the last hope of our lineage. You must augment your power before you face Thanaton. I will not have the strength to defend you again.
It's really nice that Calig will just randomly show up and save me as much as he does. Also, this is what I was saying previously, is it starts to get a little bit weird with Chapter 2. It's more focused on the Force Ghost. Not really a problem, but what ends up happening is you get a lot of Force Ghost interactions, which if you're not into Force Ghosts, then, you know, it's okay. Just stick in, you know, into Chapter 3, because Chapter 3 kind of, I guess, fixes a lot of that. Not entirely, but it does fix a lot of it. Okay, so with that being said, we need to talk a little bit about Thanaton some more. So, once again, see, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see him trying to lead me to my death happening right there. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he was trying to do, because think about it. I killed Zash, and now I'm a threat, because that means I'm, you know, under him. Who's next if I keep rising to power like I do, and keep being, I guess, very clever with the way I get rid of people? Now it's him, right? So once I get enough power, then he's dead. So he's feeling threatened. So of course he'd want to kill me. Plus he doesn't think that what I did with Ash was very smooth. You know, I just kind of killed her out in the open. That's what he thinks. Although she's not actually dead. It wasn't really my fault. She attacked me. Look, self-defense. Don't judge me. Now, with that, you gotta keep in mind that he has a lot of power in the Empire. So I kind of have to be a bit clever how I planned on taking him down.
Welcome, Seeker. I am the servant of Urgust, Lord of the Sith, keeper of his knowledge. Who stands before me, and what do you wish to learn?
Wise keeper of secrets. I seek the ritual that can help me get past an angry ghost.
There is no defense against death. But ghosts may be bound and their strength borrowed for a time. You must pull on the tether that connects life and death. You must learn to bind both sides of the Force, life and death, in what is known as the Force Walk.
I will do my best, if you will teach me.
Know to the bones that lay around you. Not everyone is able to master the ritual of Force walking. But if you are willing, drink from the cup before me. It is poison, but it will not kill you.
Simple enough. I just have to force walk, drink this cup, and I'm good to go, right? That's all I need to do. I'm pretty sure it's a bit more complicated than that.
Have you drunk? Good. The poison will take effect quickly. Then you may learn the ritual of the Force Walk. Now that you are unconscious, we may begin. The ritual has two parts. First is the pacification. An angry ghost cannot be tethered. The second part is the binding. A willing ghost is easier to bind, but by leaving the ghost its will, you draw less of its power. A pact may be formed to bind the ghost willingly, sealed with blood, or the ritual of binding may be performed. Good. You're a quick learner. It's been a long time since a creature of such promise has entered my tomb.
There has to be more to this than a little dreaming.
A very quick learner indeed. You might just make it out of here alive. This is the test. Bind me, and you go free. I'll walk with you a time and see the Empire once more. Fail, and I kill you. And don't bother trying to make a deal with me. I'll not go willingly. You have passed the final test. I am now your slave, and my power is yours. I am bound to your life, and you to my death. Use my strength to shield yourself against your foes.
Oh man, there is a lot to unpack there. However, we have the entirety of Chapter 2 in order to do that, so look forward to that in the next episode.